My name is Nevin Andrews. I'm a literary therapist and operations director for Treehouse Northwest. Today we're going to be talking about masks. We're going to talk about how we use them in our lives, why we use them in our lives, and how shedding these masks will help us stay sober long term. If you're watching this video today and you're struggling with addiction, just know that I understand. I've been there, I've struggled myself, and you're in the right place. You're beginning to reach out for help. You're beginning to explore the options out there, and I just encourage you to continue to do that. Okay, so let's start with what a mask is. A mask is something that you use to protect yourself from the world around you. It's something you construct in order to keep yourself safe, to keep yourself secure, to protect yourself from anything that may be harmful for you. I believe that in every mask we create for ourselves, that there's a piece of our authentic self in there, and we choose to wrap it up with things that are not true to ourselves. A mask can be used in social situations to protect yourself from vulnerability, to rejection. A mask can be used with family, It can be used to project this image of who we are, of what we've accomplished, of why our parents, our siblings, our relatives should be proud of us, to protect ourselves with our work life. Here's who I am, here's why you need to keep me around. Here's why I don't make any mistakes, and here's why I'm valuable to you. A mask can be used in relationships. It can be used with friends. You're not going to find a person in this world who doesn't have some sort of mask that they use, either to those close to them or to those that they have just met. Let's relate masks to how we use them in our active addiction and why they're so important to us there. I think that people in their active addiction oftentimes have a habit of using more masks than a person in general would use. In addiction, the masks often hide us from who we truly are. They allow us to stay in our addiction, they allow us to stay unhealthy, they allow us to keep abusing our drugs of choice, but also the people around us in the same manner that we always have. I think second of all, it gives the image to the outside world when we use these masks that everything's okay, that I don't need help because I'm doing well, I'm being productive, I'm living the life I want to live. So now let's talk about how we bring these masks with us, even when we become sober, into early recovery, and why it is so important for us to get rid of them. Oftentimes, we're so dependent on these substances as ways to alleviate stress, anxiety, to help us feel comfortable, secure. So when we get into this place of early recovery where we're feeling uncomfortable, where we're feeling like we don't understand how to cope with or get through these uncomfortable thoughts and feelings, stresses and anxieties, oftentimes these masks will start presenting themselves even more than they did in our active addictions. Our social masks and our guards will start to come up. We'll start to present ourselves to the staff members, our teammates, our community around us in a way that we want them to perceive us. We want to be accepted, we want to be cared for and loved, and we think that putting these masks up will help us achieve that goal. But what it ends up doing is it hides our authentic selves. It keeps us in a place where we're unable to express ourselves, to share our true experience, to share our true thoughts, our feelings, our anxieties, fears, and insecurities. In doing that, we are unable to bring that to the light, to process it, to truly understand our experience and receive feedback and tools to help us work through the things that we're struggling with. What hiding those things can lead to is, obviously relapse. I think that's the big one that everyone who's in early recovery wants to avoid. But it can lead to us being unhappy, us having higher levels of stress, higher levels of anxiety, not being able to find any happiness or contentment in early recovery. It can lead to barriers in your connection with other human beings. It can lead to you being afraid to start mending those relationships with your family and close friends, the loved ones that you have around you. So we've talked about what masks are and why we use them in our lives. What do we do with this information? You've already accomplished an important part of this process, which is learning about masks, understanding that you likely have them in your lives, understanding that they will come out to hide fears, to hide insecurities, to make you present yourself to the outside world in the way that you want to be seen. I think that that's an important part of this process, is the consciousness of the fact that you might be doing this. And I think that a good next step is taking your day-to-day interactions, identifying moments where you might be triggered to stress or anxiety, identifying moments where you might be living in fear or insecurity, looking back on those moments and thinking, what am I saying that's the true part of me? What am I saying that I meant to say, that I'm intentioned to say? And then on the flip side of that is talking about, what did I say for someone else? What did I do for someone else? What did I do that I didn't feel good about in that moment? And just understanding the difference between those two things, understanding what's a part of me and what I did for someone else. If you're conscious about it and if you explore those interactions, that you're able to kind of start the process of separating out what's a true part of me and what's a mask. What's my authentic self and what am I using to cover something up in my life? In my next video, we're going to be talking about a writing prompt that is specifically designed to talk about masks, identify them in your life, and begin the process of working through them. Thank you for watching this video. If you or anyone you know is struggling with addiction, please feel free to click on the website below or reach out to us directly. We'd love to help you.